Thanks for joining us today, and thanks for your interest in the whole MetaMusic process and connection with Artisti. Like Maxime said, I'm Pierre B. I'm the general manager for MetaMusic since 2022. I've been involved in the music business for a long time. Started in 2004 when I launched a company called BAnQ in Montreal, and then I've worked in different instances. So I know a lot about all the business process that you go through in your daily operations. So I'm here to help you out with those and this to tell you how MetaMusic is going to be your new tool for those. So without further ado, let's just whoop, like you'll see. Well, there you go. So a few hiccups. Here you go. So what's on the program today? We're going to talk about metadata. So what are those, and what are they used for, and why are they important for you? How MetaMusic simplifies management and reporting tasks and how it works in the global. We're going to go through a quick demo and then a questions period. So feel free to ask them, like Maxime and Marie said, in the Q&A section. But sometimes if I see the question, I can hop in as well on it because if it makes sense, I'm going to go through at that moment. Before we go further, just so you know, you can scan that code, go to that link, and connect with us for an onboarding session. There's going to be a lot of stuff today. Maxime and Marie will be able to send you a version of those slides. So don't stress about taking notes, and there's no exam at the end of the day. But we'll just so you know, there's a learning process into doing MetaMusic in terms of how it works. Once you get it, it's super quick and easy, but you have to go through some learning curve. But we can help you though with those. Me and Tanya, which is in the room today as well, is there to help. So we can help you out with those. Don't sweat about this. We have plenty of people using it right now because they went through that process. So can you. Let's jump right in. So what are metadata? So metadata is basically a data that describes the data. So we generate some, we consult some, and we use some on a daily basis, whether when we call someone, whether when we open a work document, a Word document on our laptop, go through a YouTube video, or release a new song, or even search for it. So we go through those every single day. In terms of music, it used to be in the booklet, in the cover album, in those print in physical medium. Today, it has to be made readable for both machines and algorithms, and adjust to how people consume and search for music in different contexts. That is not necessarily what we know as music fan and music creators and music enjoyers. We don't go through the same processes as the people in general. So what used to be on the booklet now has to go on the internet. So that's what we're going to help you out with. Just so you know, music metadata, you already know most of them. You already manage those anyway in some way, shape, or form as of today. There are three types of metadata. So there's descriptive metadata, which means title and main artist, which means the duration, which means where it was recorded and how, and so on and so forth, when it was released, and so on and so forth. When we go through the property and rights metadata, that means who's the creators and first makers. So most likely you today are performers. Some of you will be also makers. Who's entitled to royalties when the music is broadcast, and all the unique identifier that we use in the business. So ISRC, ISWC, UPC, you're going to see a lot of those. Same goes with IPI, IPN, and ISNI. You're going to see a lot of those in MetaMusic. That's one of the key things we do, but we simplify those. You don't have to, manage those, micromanage those. And then there's the enriched metadata, which means BPM, tags, genres, moods, context of both creation and listening, as well as themes, and etc., etc. So there's a whole bunch of those that we have in MetaMusic. Some of them are not there for some obvious reasons, but most of them are already in our system. Why do they matter in music? Now we have assessed that music metadata is fundamental for discoverability. It's a new buzzword, but discoverability, how to be findable and searchable, and to be emerging in the algorithms, in the age of algorithms. as well as getting paid. At the end of the day, that's all about your money being findable and getting paid, which both goes in the same circle. So when it's incomplete, that means that you get delayed payments, you get potential loss of revenue. Some works won't be matched, so they won't be paid. Some people will be won't be declared, won't be registered at Artisti, so they won't get the revenue from there. So that's important that you do that in a good way. There's a lack of visibility and poor findability and discoverability, I would say. So that limits, once again, potential benefits for people involved. People being absent from algorithms or with the wrong tag. So that means that it won't be found in the right way, in the right context. Some contributors won't even be mentioned anywhere in the credits anymore, which means producers, mixers, mastering people, designners won't even get a mention anywhere because there's no booklets anymore, and they lost their own small visibility that they were getting from your booklets. It has an impact on the whole music value chain, which means touring, which means merch, which means publishing as well. All those are impacted because you're not known, and therefore that's the vicious circle that's setting in. In the age of AI, incomplete credits can lead to hallucinations or slop or confusion. So digital and AI don't like something that is empty, so they will add something. They will create a credit for your work. So you don't want that. You want to make sure that you are in control. And at the end of the day, if we have identifiers that are linked to humans, so IPI, IPN, ISNI, and so on and so forth, we know that we are talking about works created by humans. So our system, and it means that we have those identifiers, so we know that what's in MetaMusic is most likely a song created by a human and not a machine. With that being said, let's take a step back to further understand the problem. So basically, a song is a meeting of two things, right? So if you are creating a song, you are, and I'm not a creator, so you know better than I do. But in terms of how we document those, there's two things involved. So the first is a work, a musical work. There's a musical work. There's a word missing here. I'm sorry about that. There's a musical work. So that's something you register at SOCAN or as SAM or any other of those societies. So that's the lyrics. That's the melody and so on and so forth. So there's most likely a songwriter, there's most likely a publisher, and there are those IDs that we need to process them. And then there's a song recording. Song recording means performers like you, a maker, a studio, a producer, and text, and so on and so forth. So they both have some of those have IDs. And we have also the ISRC that you most likely know about. So that's what a song is about. Okay, as soon as we think in terms of MetaMusic about a song, we think in those terms. What the goal is? Oh my God! So the reality is when we release a song, my animations were a bit sketched, I'm sorry about that. When we release a song, we want to make sure that we have all those credits linked together. So both the works credits and IDs and the song recordings linked together. When we do release those songs at the moment, there's somehow some way to add your songwriter credits, but there's no link with any IDs. There's no way to put it anywhere else. So the reality is that we don't put all the metadata out there when we release a song. The goal is to have it all linked somewhere to be able to process it in a way that will make sure that we get our song fully documented online. When we see a song through those IDs in MetaMusic and anywhere else, as a matter of fact, we see it in that way. So this is Bird on a Wire from Leonard Cohen that you probably all know about, that is seen through the IDs. So the first release of that song was not by Leonard Cohen, but by Judy Collins in 1968. And this is the first line. So you see, this is a song by Judy Collins with all those IDs. And then the second song is by Leonard Cohen with all those performers that were with him. So As you can see, there's one musical work that is linked to all those ISRCs, those sound recordings. So that's always the same work. That's always the same ID. It's super simple, but if you don't know it, you can add it. So in MetaMusic, we simplify those processes. We make sure that works and sound recordings get linked together without having to think about it too much, right? That's the idea. It's to simplify those things, not add a layer of complexity. So that's the way the system sees a song in MetaMusic, but we make sure that you get to do it in a simplified way. That challenge to link the ISRC and the ISWC is a key challenge in the music industry. That's CISAC, which is the confederation of the SOCANs of the world. That highlights it in his latest annual report about how those challenges that we address are a global challenge, but we have a solution in our community in Quebec and Canada. So that's a key thing that we do. Continue with the rest. All right. So MetaMusic was launched in 2020 in terms of work, what they work with they launched it with the referential, what input, what they do was important, and so on and so forth. So it was launched by a regroupment of associations, unions, and collecting societies, as you can see, though. So evidently Artisti, but as well Panorama, formerly known as SOPROQ, SOCAN, SPACAE, Guilde, Disc, and so on and so forth. So it's a gathering of all those organizations that govern MetaMusic in on our board. What we are doing right now is we're building a national music metadata infrastructure that will allow to generate and gather comprehensive and linked metadata for all your releases for better discoverability and interoperability between systems. Simplify all your administrative chores that you have to go through every time you release an album, and give everyone the credits they deserve and optimize royalty payments along the way. And we have features designed to meet your evolving needs that will as we all know, evolve. If you look at the industry from 2024, 2004 is going to be much less digital. Right now we are in a full digital world, so needs evolve every single year. When you release an album at the moment, if you have to release your album manually right now, you have to do it through different processes, multiple silos, with different part of the same information set needed at different time in different instances. It involves different people and organizations with different processes that are not fully integrated all the time. And it involves as well multiple email exchanges, phone calls, textos, Word and Excel files to be exchanged, and forms to fill out to okay, there's one can't see our video, but I'm sorry. Manual entry and copying can lead to error. So as soon as you have to make it many times, you have to copy and stuff. There might be issues or typos that come in. When we do it in MetaMusic, we're using MetaMusic. We do it in a centralized setup. So it's integrating and simplifying processes in a single unified tools for better collaboration. It allows for import and diagnose of your SOCAN work catalogs to clean those up, make sure that there's no mistakes, and allow to link with your recordings. It allows to connect with Panorama, Artisti to make your registrations. For those in Quebec, it also allows to send your new releases to the Quebec National Archives, called BAnQ. It allows to validation and no duplication for all your IDs. So if you have ISRCs, ISWCs, there's going to be tools to make sure that you have only one of the same and no duplicate, no double input. There's your ISNI validation, and there's also ways to export those metadata to both societies, but also for your own needs in terms of SEO, marketing, and so on and so forth. And there's, of course, like I said before, support and group integration, so we can help you out with those things, so you better understand the processes, why you have to do it, and how it works in both MetaMusic, but also outside of MetaMusic. At the moment, as you can see, we have different setups already set up. So we have ways to introduce everybody on the left that you see. So we have publishers, we have songwriters, we have managers, we have makers and label, we have performers and musicians, of course. We have producers, studios, technical stuff, designers, and so on and so forth that can get their profile in MetaMusic, connect those things, and register new releases at Artisti, Panorama, and soon at SOPROQ. We have BAnQ as well, and we also have ISNI. What we're working on right now is going further down the line, so having more integration. So we are working right now with Amplitude Distribution to be able to allow you to send all your information, all the right information to your distribution dashboard. So that would mean that once you input stuff in MetaMusic, it can go through the whole process. We're also working with Music Match Lyric, trying to push the lyrics from MetaMusic directly to them instead of having to do it manually in another dashboard, other system, and so on and so forth. So those are new things we are working on right now that will see the light of day in a few months in different instances, and other ways to simplify the process. So if any of you use MetaMusic in the last few months, you'll notice major changes in different areas in the last few weeks, because we tend to simplify things even further down the line for you guys to be able to do it in a more simplified way. MetaMusic is not meant to be one more thing to do. It's meant to be 4 or 3 or 4 less things to do at the end of the day. So the idea is not to make you work more, it's to make you more, but not to make you work more, but make you work smarter. Sorry. So that's the whole idea behind MetaMusic. It's to simplify things. So we help you out with different chores that you really have in the process. We are also, I mentioned the National Archives in Quebec for BAnQ. We are hopefully working on something at some point in the coming months with BACLAC, so Library and Archive Canada. We have something ready for them, but they just don't reply. So hopefully they will, and you guys can make sure that you benefit from this as well in your workflow. On the specific Artisti members benefits, there's different type of members at Artisti. We'll go through all this I would say this parcours, or the funnel, I would say, but still. So there's 3 main processes in MetaMusic that you guys have to go through. So in different ways of shapes. In the context of performers, you're mostly going to be involved in the sound recording processes and in the metadata refillings processes, but as well, of course, as into the account creation processes. But keep in mind, okay, keep that in mind. If you're not doing the administrative stuff on your releases right now, you won't have to do it in MetaMusic neither. If you are the person that is artist entrepreneur, that is the maker, that is in charge of the band, or so on and so forth, you're gonna still have to do it as you did before. The only difference is you're gonna make it in one tool instead of doing in 4 tools. But if you are a performer that only does writing perform songs on records, you're gonna see it's gonna be one step. You create your account, connect your Artisti account, and say goodbye. Don't come back ever if you don't want to, So that's the idea. So I'm going to go through that process with you. So what's the journey? That's a word I meant, I was looking for. That's the journey into MetaMusic. So let's take for granted that you guys are performers. That's what I take for granted if you are here today. So if you are a performer, you create your account and you can add your Artisti account ID. If your email matches, it's going to be connected and you can go on with your life. If you have another role, if you don't have other roles, well, the question is, do you have other roles? If you don't, well, you're done. You don't have anything else to do. Make sure to talk about MetaMusic to your other bandmates, other collaborators, and the projects makers, so that they can can tag you correctly in your next project. So that's going to be as easy as that for you. Don't have to do anything. You can even delegate that thing to your management. So you either manager, label, publisher, and so on and so forth. So they can manage this for you if they don't already. If you have other roles though, well then you can always add them to your account. It's going to be as easy as this. If you're a producer, if you work in the studio in any way, shape, or form, add those roles to be credited. It's going to be this role in your account. So as soon as you are being a mixer, mastering guy, girl, and so on and so forth, you're going to be able to be tagged in those recordings and get your credits as you should. If you do cover photos, if you do design, drawing, or any type of liner notes, you can always add that role to be credited. So you just add it, and as soon as you have it, have to be tagged as such, it's going to be as easy as type your name, and it's going to be done in a simplified way. If you are a songwriter, there's a bit more work to do. So you can add your API in your account. You can and your SOPROQ number, and then you can import and diagnose your catalog of works. We'll go through that later on, but that's going to be helpful if you have a lot of works. The ID those errors that you might not see if you look at your SOPROQ account. That's going to be available right now. Then, like I said, if you don't manage the band, if you're not a maker, if you don't register stuff at SOPROQ and anywhere like that, well, then that's easy because, oh, sorry, wrong way. You're done. You don't have to do anything else. And like before, you can delegate that to your team, either manager, publisher, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be easy. But then if you are the producer, the maker, I wouldn't say with the wrong word, but if you're the maker, so if you're the one registering songs at SOPROQ and so on and so forth, or putting those at your distributor. So if you are if you are on an individual basis, you can add maker as an individual in your dashboard, add your Panorama member number and BAnQ customer number if you are in Quebec, then it's going to be all done. You can now start to document any register your music. It's going to be as easy as that. If you are as a business, so if your band, for instance, has created a business to register at SOPROQ and Panorama, sorry for the at Panorama/SOPROQ, then you have to create a business in MetaMusic. It's a simple process. You have 4 clicks to do, and it's going to be easy as that. Then you can add the maker role, add your Panorama member number, and BAnQ if you are in Quebec. And then if you are a publisher, if you're not, you don't have to add it. But if you are a publisher in the same business, then like you did for your songwriter role, you can add your API and SOPROQ number to import your catalog and then diagnose your work. Then you're all done. You can delegate. It still can delegate to anybody working with you. It's not only a manager, it can be somebody that does that for you as a clerk or so on and so forth. So you can always send those to those. So just a few slides more, and then we can go to the demo. I'm still on time. Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah. Maybe we can take some questions if there are some. I just wanted to mention something, that MetaMusic is free of charge. It's a free service if you want to create an account as a performer. I mean, at least for the music metadata management and declaration bit of MetaMusic. So it's free, and because it's connected with the key players of the industry. You have seen SOPROQ, Artisti, Panorama. You can manage all your metadata and link to the collective management organization that are key for you in Canada. So it's important to understand that. But it's important if your only role is a performer, it's really quick, but it's important to make your profile and role visible on this platform, so you can be added at any time. And if someone So a record label or another performer managing your music is using MetaMusic and is making a declaration to Artisti through MetaMusic, then you'll be included and it will be added like that at Artisti. So just wanted to mention that. I'll talk later about how it integrates exactly with our processes at Artisti, but keep that in mind.
Yeah. I'm just going to go through a few quick slides about what a few of the things I mentioned. So just so you know different things, and then I'm going to dive into the platform, show you a bit more of what it looks like, what it does, and how it manages those processes. So basically, am I back? Yeah. So you can create an account in MetaMusic. So you can start by creating your own individual account or your business account. So either way, there's no good or bad way to do it. So if you're managing a business as well as being an artist, you can start by either. You're going to be able at the end of the day to create your own individual profile for yourself or for your business in the next step as soon as you connect your account into MetaMusic. As well, how we connect Artisti and MetaMusic. So wrong logo, but still you can get it. So we make the connection using your email address and your Artisti ID. So in Quebec, some legacy artists are using to connect to their account in Artisti, like their Hotmail, their old email, but are using a more modern email to connect to MetaMusic. So that creates a mismatch at some point. I'm going to assume that most of you here today are newest members of Artisti, so that won't be the same issue. You most likely are going to be using the same email. So if ever that connection doesn't work in the first time, that's most likely because you're using different emails on both systems. There's a solution for that. I'm going to show you later on, but that's the thing that works, and it's pretty straightforward. So what we do once that connection is happening, we connect and we retrieve your IPN meaning international performer number. So you have one. If you look right now in your dashboard, you're going to see it. That's a new thing. So now you can see it on your own. But what we do is we get it. So as soon as you're tagged in any type of performance, you're going to be tagged as that IPN at the end of the day. If you are part of bands that are in your Artisti dashboard already, those bands are going to be retrieved as well, and all the members that do the same process will be automatically added to it. If it's not in the system, then you have to create it. It's pretty straightforward process as well. It's like a 5-click thing, and then add the same way your bandmates. We're going to retrieve your stage name if you add one in the system, and if it's different from your name, so you can always edit it anyway, depending on what is on your account. And if you have, for instance, a solo artist band name and also another, so if you have different solo artists as yourself, you can add those as well and always be connected to both your IPN and your Artisti account. And what we don't do yet is you bring up your back catalog. So just because I got a lot of requests when we did the last webinar in French, and we don't pull yet your back catalog. Why? Because you're performers most likely, and you're not always the maker of your song, and we have to start through one process. And since they're like most likely more than one performer per song recording, it's better for us to go through the maker. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a simplified process for them because we are connected with Artisti, so we can work with different processes in the future. But keep in mind that MetaMusic focuses on new releases that are yet to be registered. So if your stuff is already registered, don't sweat it, don't stress. Well, you can always come in MetaMusic and comment it if you want, but don't sweat it about, oh my God, I have 20 years of catalog to document. No, because we're working on processes to simplify those, especially if you are artist entrepreneur or if you are your own maker. That's going to be in the works in the next few months. Once you've done that enables to be able to be registered as a performer in an artistic lineup, and which can be done whether as your label, as your maker, or as a performer. So we'll see in a few minutes. You can import your SOPROQ catalog and create all your works automatically and identify issues. So that's a process that can be done even if you don't have a new release, because that's key to identify errors that might save you from having all your money. So do it. I highly recommend it. You're gonna find errors that you don't see in your SOPROQ dashboard. And then we all have all those mandatory filings integrated. Those are the free stuff that we are going to be it's there. It's the basic offering of MetaMusic that are both our partners and our founding members that are involved behind MetaMusic. MetaMusic as benefits for everybody involved in the process. It's one platform when we share stuff that we capture the metadata once. It's shared by all and it's trusted along the way. Once at the source, not different processes. It's shared by most music professionals, and it's going to be more and more shared along the way. There's faster workflows, fewer errors in those processes. It allows you for accurate tracking. If you do it by yourself or with different partners, it's going to be able to track your stuff more easily and get your money faster and better pay, hopefully. And everybody get his recognition along the way from start to finish, from cover to cover. We cover everyone. And then, of course, we are connected to already established stuff that you already do on a daily basis. And there's much more to come, whatever you do. And we're always open to suggestions to let us know what type of services you guys need to process. But because that's the idea, to help you more and more in those processes. So more trust, more efficiency, and more fairness in music in Canada. I'm going to go with the demo in French. Sorry about that. There you go. I'm going to remove that and I'm going to switch here. There you go. So
yeah, just taking a
questions,
minute.
maybe
No,
question.
yeah, maybe questions, but just want to jump on what you just said and highlight how important it is for us, Artisti. Our main job is really to collect all your metadata, your music metadata, and make sure you're paid for those. So basically, our job is really to match a lot of data with the usage data, when you broadcast it on radio, for example. So it's key for us to have the right identifier. When we talk about ISRC, or IPNs, or titles, anything, it can block your royalties from being paid just because of the volume of the data we are working with. It's often the case where you have a declaration of one ISRC to your maker collective management, and just one number is different from the one at Artisti. Well, sometimes it can block along the process of matching all this data, because we are all sharing database, whether it's in Canada or internationally, where we exchange a lot of data, volume of data. So this is why it's key that when the data coming from you is entered at Artisti for the first time, it's without any errors. So this is why MetaMusic is important for us. Yeah, please, yeah, if you want to demo, is
Yeah,
there?
just gonna go and browse through a profile. So once you created your account, you're gonna connect and you're gonna be able to access your profile. Your individual profile, same processes for businesses account. So I'm going to just go through one to simplify things. But basically, you got your details. So what's your name? What's your birth year, specific, and not the date, full date. Where you live, so country, province, and city. We ask for 3 ID and statuses questions. One is Canadian, one is Québécois, and the other is Indigenous. So you can fill those out. We're going to be expanding, most likely, this section to include some regional or different level of identification to help localize content. But for now, it's those 3. Then we have the roles that are key to be able to be tagged. There's three key roles. The first one is, of course, songwriter, co-creator, songwriter, and those, and so on and so forth, performer and maker. So those three involve a connection, so that you have to connect. I will show you quickly. Then there's all those three other roles that are secondary roles. Like I said, it's one click, add those, and then you'll be able to be tagged anywhere in the sound recording. If you ever do a tiny thing in the studio but you're not added, because you don't do that usually, it's going to be a mess. Simplify it, do it, add it at creation of your account. So I'm going to go with the performer one real quick, but the processes is pretty similar for all those. For the performer, so basically you add your Artisti account. If the like I said, if the accounts if the email account used match with your Artisti email, is going to be matching, and you're going to be able to have the quick check mark, the green check mark to your account. If you have you're going to have an IPN that's going to be retrieved automatically, and if you have bands, they're going to be over here. If one of those bands is not, if you're a part of those bands, that's great. If you're a part of a new band that is not there, then you have the create new band right here that can be added. If you see a band that you are a part of, but you're not part of it, you just click to add your request to join a band, and then type the name of the band, of said band, and one of the members is going to just click on yes, and it's going to be, you're going to be part of it as well. So that's important. You'll see later on why, because now when you add a band as a main artist, it automatically adds all the band members in the lineup. So you don't have to retype the name of every individual. So if you do that setup first, well, it's going to be simplified to everybody once you have to be added in the sound recording in any way, shape, or form. So that's for the performer. It's pretty straightforward. There's only add your ID. It's going to be done. I'm going to go with the songwriter real quick. If you are a member of SOCAN, and if not, even if you're not a member of SOCAN, if you have an IPI, you can add this here, and then all the works that are going to be added along the way, if you're a member of you're going to be added. If you are a member of SOCAN, and you can add your SOCAN account number. We don't have a connection right now between SOCAN. As you know, there's a new setup a new system being set up. So we know that we're going to be able to do it in the future. But if you do so, once it's set up, it's going to be simplified to have your works added in MetaMusic. It's going to be a quick process to add your catalog in MetaMusic for SOCAN works. It takes literally 5 minutes. It's going to be done, and you don't have to do it ever. Then there's a connection with SOPROQ as well. If you are Panorama, I'm sorry about that. Now I'm going to get it. So as soon as you add your account number, it's gonna match if the emails both match in Octave if you are a member of SOPROQ. If you can also add other societies in those profiles like I showed. If you are a member of other societies for some reason, you can always add them as well. I won't name them, but you know them, so you can add them from anywhere in the world. So we added all the societies because we know people, or some companies at least, are a member of many societies for one role, so we allow those. If you are in Quebec, like I said, you can add your BAnQ client number, which is 8 numbers. If you don't have one, we can show you how to get one, and then you can proceed with those. If you are working with the project that are Music Action in Canada, you're going to be able to do it and finalize your files with them as well once you do it. So that's the process for creating the roles. I'm going to go with just a bit down the line. So like I said, you can delegate your management to your team. So it either your label, publisher, manager, and so on and so forth. So in that instance, I am myself a manager of his account for testing purposes. But like as you can see, the girl from the label is also accessing capacity. So that's the way to go. If you want to give some access to some people that work with you, but you can keep the control on your account, that's the way to go. And they're going to be able to do anything else in your name in the system. We allow to merge and match the ISNI number you might have. So pretty simple. ISNI is an international standard name identifier, which means basically the ISRC or the ISBN of the creator. So it's either a creator human or a creator company as well. So pretty straightforward. Once you have added all your names, all your stage names, all your display names in those different roles, you come here and you can add all the searches, and they will search for all your names and all your aliases. In the case of Paul, he has one, so I'm just going to add it to his global individual and go on with our life. If you have questions about the ISNI, it's normal. It's not super usual yet. It's going to be more and more in the future. If you have different stage names, public identity, that might be tricky a little more. Make sure that you guys connect with us and we can help you sort it out. Make sure that you guys have it all straightened out. And then I'm gonna go with so as you can see, we can see the bands that are linked to the creator, and we can see all the works from SOCAN that are in the system. In his case, he has a bunch of those, and we have all the song recordings that he was tagged in, either on its own name or in different with a different project, and as well as different releases that he was tagged in. So his own and as well as Jean-Philippe's releases. So I'm going to go quickly through the song recording process, and then the release process that is going to be more of concern for you. I'm going to go with the song recording process. It's pretty straightforward. If you have already filed out any of those forms in the past, it's going to be the same questions, different processes, though, for simplifying. Okay, I'm going to go with the different sections. So there's the details to add. So obviously the title and ISRC, but as well the country of fixation, where it was recorded and when it was recorded. You can add musical genres as well, so that's going to be helpful for registration and for tagging purposes. You can add the main artist. So it's main artist and the featuring in that section. So if you are a solo artist, you can add your name there. If you have a band, then you can add the band as well. Once you choose a band in that section, it's going to suggest that you fill out the lineup with those names as well. If it's indeed the case, just click yes, and all those members going to be added to the lineup, and then you can either edit or remove, add some more people, of course, afterwards, but you won't have to type all those band members. I had some questions about the work. So how to link an ISWC to the INRC. So like I said, I haven't shown the SOCAN import process, but if you did the SOCAN import process, you have all your works that are imported and ready to link. So in that case, we have here, it's click here, but we have here from Paul Cariello that was automatically linked. So we have when it's new, you have the add button. You only click on the add button, look for your works and add them. If you are doing covers, we can help you out with those. You only have to ask for us for a validation. So you only have to put the name. If you are doing a Leonard Cohen work, for instance, you only put the name of the song. It was made by Leonard Cohen. So we're going to look for the information and validate for you. So you don't have to look for it and have trouble finding the right information. We will sort it out for you. That's our job. Then you can add the first maker, whether it's you or somebody else. You can add many of them as well, of course. And then we get to the lineup section. In that case, it's only one guy. But if I clicked on add here and I look for Tanya, which is my coworker, I click on Tanya, it's going to add her name. I won't because it's a real song, so I won't do that. But if you only have to add a person, it's easy as this. You can add your studios, which are now not mandatory anymore. So if you have your own studio, you can create it as a business. But if you only have, if you work in your basement and so on and so forth, you can skip that section or just mention it was in my basement, or whatever you want to be shown in the credits at some point. So you can add different studio types, so either recording, mixing, and so on and so forth. You can also add your own production team, technical team, so either it's as producer, mixer, and so on and so forth, and arrangements as well in the setup. If you have added your lyrics to your works in the first section, then you can copy them here, but you can also add them right there, so that all the lyrics are also connected to your song. Add the languages. We also, as a matter of fact, added, of course, the French, English, and all the major languages, but we also have a section for indigenous languages that we work with the librarian from indigenous background to cover. Our work right now is to push this list of languages to the DEX so that they can be shared around the world and used in Spotify, Apple Music, and so on and so forth for your benefit. So if you're an indigenous creator, reach out to us. We will be able to help you with those. And then we can add different type of genres to add some more depth in your description. We won't connect those to the different platforms, but it will allow you to use those tags in your BAnQ SEO, YouTube SEO, your own website SEO, your different web promotion toolkit. You're going to be able to add those tags in your different instances, and we will use those tags to connect songs and music between each other. So bear in mind that this is a process that you have to do well. We have to think about it a bit, but once it's done, as you can see, you can copy from one song to the other and do it once for your band that always has the same genres or the same type of tags that need to be used. So that's, once it's done, it can be used other places. Same goes with the whole thing. So once you've done one sound recording, you're able to duplicate the sound recording and have it copied. So what it copies is the basic information which goes from the studio, the year of fixation, who were the musicians, the genres, and the tag. So all those information is going to be copied, and so you can move on and have one album made in about 5 minutes per song, instead of having to type it in 4 different setups. So once you master the thing, once all your band members, all your collaborators are in the system, MetaMusic becomes a really straightforward system once you have done that process. So that's why the onboarding is relatively important to do. Once you have done all your sound recordings, then we can go to the release part, and I'm going to go with the album here. So what you do is you add, of course, the titles. You can select if it's an album, if it's a single, if it's an EP, a compilation, a box set, and so on and so forth. You can add musical genres, and I'm gonna add it because it didn't, and I know what it is. So I'm gonna, no, I can find it. Okay, never mind. I won't let them do it. You have the original maker as well. So those are the straightforward section. You have the main artist, and pretty straightforward as well. And then there's the format and product section. So basically one album or one single or one EP, whatever, can have different products, different formats. So either CD, MP3s, and vinyl and cassette and whatnot. So once you do one, same goes for the release than it was for the song recording. You can, once you have one, you can duplicate the format and just change the UPC instead of all have to do it again. So we'll go through one just so you see. So you have the details, which are basically basic, UPC, catalog number, if there's one. You put the record label. If you're releasing it on your own, there's an indie tag you can type and have it tagged, and then you can add your music distribution company and have the country of first release and as well as the date of release. Then you can change, either it's an audio file, MP3, so on and so forth. You can add any type of format you have. So it's easy as this. You can add the description if you want, and then you add the songs. So once your songs are all done, your song recordings are all done on the other side, all you have to do is click on that, type the title, and it's going to be added. So that allows for once a song is added in your sound recordings, if it's in a single and then in an album the other 1 month later, it's easy as B to add them in the same without having to rewrite anything. So the work is on the sound recordings part, not on the release part as it was right now. But once it's done, as easy as it can be. If you have a song in the wrong order, you can reorder them by simply drag and drop. And then you can add your mastering session if there's one different for every format or product that can be edited. And then you can add your I'm going to cancel here and add whoever did the graphic design for your recording album and so on and so forth. So those are not mandatory, but if you have them, easy to put them and give them the credit they are due. That's the whole idea behind MetaMusic. And then if I go back then, like I said, if once you do one, you can copy it and it's going to be done for the whole thing. One thing I didn't mention much, but it's the public funding. Like I said, Quebec is working on projects, so people have to declare whether or not they got public funding from either SODEC, Calico, and so on and so forth. So we have most Canadian outlets as well. So if you have some, you can input it. It's not mandatory, but it's going to be at some point, we guess, useful. And I always like to tell the story. I was in Brittany to see my daughter once, and I found out that a band from Toronto was actually Canadian because they were on Sun Pop. But the way I found about it was that the Factor logo on the corner. So that's an idea. That's a cue as to whether it's Canadian or not. Sometimes. So keep in mind that we are helping out to ID Canadian content as well. Everything is done at that point. Everything was done. So I'm going to go and deep dive into the overview and then the registration. So once you have added songs in your release, you can go through the details of every of those, either to check the first maker, the lineup, and the work. Make sure that everything is aligned. Make sure everything is neat and clear and complete. So that if you go through the whole, if you go by one by one, you can come to this section and make sure that you get either registrations or export. So I'm going to go through the registration, which is the real process. So if you are connected to Artisti, or if one member of your lineup is connected to Artisti, you have this button open. I'm going to click on it on this one. It's been done. So there's so Maxime knows that we cannot send both duplicate album in their system. So you guys don't send it twice. So once it's done, you can do it again. But if it will tell you by having the check marks here, it's going to list all the songs that we're going to be sending to Artisti and so on and so forth. So the Artisti process is the most straightforward. Once you say register, it's going to be sent to Artisti. You have nothing else to do. Who can do it? It's either a performer, the maker, or the label. So make sure that you connect with your collaborators, either label, either maker, either other performers, so that you make sure that everything is done right before it's done. But you'll be able, as a performer in the lineup, you'll be able to see if it's done. And in this instance, you're going to be having the history right here. And then you see that it was registered at Artisti in 2024, etc., etc. So it's pretty straightforward. If you have to register to Panorama SOPROQ, then you also have to connect your SOPROQ account. But once you click on it, it's going to be the same thing. It's already done, so we don't have to do it again. But once you submit, in that instance, you have to go on Octave or CMS that you probably know already about and complete the registration. But still straightforward. Everything is copied to their system. You don't have to type anything except your splits and validate the whole thing. But it's a 2-minute process tops, basically. So I'm going to cancel this one. And we also have the National Archives. Might not be as much useful for you guys at this point, but like I said, we want to make the same thing for Canada. But same thing, we click on it, we have the list of the songs. In that case, we have the list of the songs because it's not been registered yet. We can add the file and then send it to the National Archives. Pretty straightforward. And we have the last one, which is the physical legal deposit. So if you have CDs, vinyl, cassettes, so on and so forth, you can export the PDF file and print it and send it to BAnQ. The same thing, should be available at some point for LEC in Ottawa as well. So that's the registration process. So as you can see, there's a few steps to complete the whole thing, but once you've done it, it's going to be done forever. You won't have to retype anything else. At the moment, it's only a matter of registering to the CMOs, most likely, and as well as the National Archives. But our goal, is, like I said, is to implement more connections, whether it's amplitude distribution in Quebec that we are working on, that if you don't know, and if you're working with CDBB and other TuneCore, I highly recommend. Same price or basically the same, but with a direct connection for support and services. So I highly recommend them, especially if we're gonna be able to help you out to integrate all you have to do when you release an album. That's gonna be a pretty straightforward process. And that's it for the processes.
Okay, thanks, Pierre. I'll just say a word now that we've done all the process on the MetaMusic side, and you declare a release to Artisti. You know, what are the next steps? So just want to make that 100% clear. So as member, when you declaring repertoire, right now you are using our Excel spreadsheet. So of course, if you go through MetaMusic, that's replacing the Excel spreadsheet. Have you seen you have the same info that you were providing us through the spreadsheet that you are providing us in a more intuitive way through MetaMusic and a more collaborative way. So it's replacing our Excel spreadsheet declaration. So once you press that button to declare, then it's automatically sent to our system.
Yep.
And it's going through a matching process. So we are, our team internally make sure that all the performer on the lineup match performer that are already present most of the time in our database. So this is why it's really key to provide your IPN. Your IPN is really what identifies you as a music performer. You can retrieve your IPN through your Artisti portal. Now we have made your IPN, available through our online portal. So when you will be connecting our MetaMusic account, providing your email address, your Artisti number, then your IPN will be linked as well. You'll be there, so you'll be all set and identify exactly during that process. Because of course, one of the challenge that you might be aware is that we have many performers that have the same name, so we need to differentiate them, and it's a key when we talk about distribution of royalties. So we want to make sure to identify you properly. So this will be matched most of the time automatically, but this will be checked. We will match other metadata and because it's declared through MetaMusic, we just do a sanity check, but we are not, of course, redoing the job of checking all the metadata. We accept the fact that the metadata are correct, and we just want to make sure that the music that you're declaring to MetaMusic has been published, is available online or has been released, because it's one of the conditions to register them at Artisti, that it has been released and that your music is available to be played and to be found in the usage data. So that's the check that we do. But other than that, it's matched, it's added to our database, the repertoire that you declare through MetaMusic, and then like it would be for the repertoire that you would declare through our Excel spreadsheet, you will need to validate that your participation as a performer on that track, exactly on each track that has been declared and that are part of that release. So Of course, if you're the one making the declaration through MetaMusic, you'll find that track in your online portal. But all the performers that you've added and are members of Artisti, they might, not be involved into that declaration process, but they will have, of course, to validate their participation through their Artisti portal. So you might have discography that was not that have not been added by you, but that you need to validate and that has been added by someone else or the record label through MetaMusic. So you'll receive a notification by email to validate your participation on your online portal. And once you validate that participation, then you're all set. Your repertoire is in your database. Your metadata has been clean and is all good through the process, so we can match your repertoire to the usage data and make sure you get your payment when your music is played. So that's about it concerning the old process. Just thinking out loud, so don't hesitate if you have any question on that. Just wanted to mention that, of course, MetaMusic is a new way. I mean, we have already members using it that to declare repertoire to Artisti, so it's already set up. If you want to use it, please go create your account, make yourself available on the platform, and start using it. You can already declare your repertoire. It's not replacing yet the Excel spreadsheet. You can still use our Excel spreadsheet, but eventually we want to move everything online. So, but for now, you can still use MetaMusic. You can still use Excel spreadsheet, but would advise that if you start using MetaMusic, make sure to declare all your new releases through that medium going forward. So, thanks everyone.
Thank you.